So first of all, thank you to our participants for waiting a little bit longer. We had some technical issues, but good afternoon now to everyone and a warm welcome from the EURAXESS ASEAN team to our webinar on Horizon Europe Pillar 2, Cluster 6, which focuses on food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture and the environment. My name is Leonie Nagarajan, and together with Dr. Tatas Protosodamo, I represent here EURAXESS ASEAN in the region. It is a pleasure to have you with us today, so thank you for taking the time to find out more. Today we will be exploring funding opportunities, collaboration pathways and practical tools to help you engage with Horizon Europe and Cluster 6. So whether you are new to this topic, whether you are already familiar, involved in Horizon Europe, we hope that this session is useful for you, practical, but also inspiring. We have definitely inspiring speakers with us today who will share with you more about the EU's strategic priorities in this field. We have an expert presentation and then a testimonial. So I'm really happy to welcome Jerome Pons, who is the head of cooperation at the European Union delegation to Indonesia, Brunei Darussalam and ASEAN with us. Then we have Pauline Sentis with us. She's policy officer at DG RTD. Joins us from Brussels. Good morning to Brussels, Pauline. You're working in the unit for green transitions. And then we have from WASI from Vietnam, our testimonial speaker, Dr. Khoa Dang Le. He is probably familiar to a few of our researchers and participants already, as we have worked with him before on Horizon Europe projects. Without further ado, Jerome, I pass the floor to you to deliver the opening remarks and to share with us a little bit more about the EU's priorities in this field of Cluster 6, food, bioeconomy, agriculture, environment, and natural resources. Thank you so much. I stop sharing now.
Very good. Thank you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
You seem to be controlling my microphone. I don't like that too much. All right. So look, no, very good to see you this afternoon, and greetings from Jakarta, of course. I'm the head of cooperation here for Indonesia, Brunei, and for the ASEAN, as you mentioned. So that's why I was very happy to give you a short introduction to this webinar. Very interesting, of course, for the participant, and I'm very glad to see so many people connected because it shows that there is an interest, and I think it is the right interest because this is something that really can deliver a lot for people that will apply and get the opportunity to work and study and do research with us. So I think it's really good to see so much participation from, of course, from different walks of life, from university, from industry, from policy partners as well, even some colleagues from the EU I have noticed. So I think it's really good, and that will help us strengthen the EU-ASEAN research cooperation, which, as you know, is a priority for us. I'll mention that maybe a bit later. First of all, special welcome to the speakers. You've introduced yourself. So Pauline, Khoa, Tatas, and Leonie. We've been in this setting before. So very good to have you here. And I'm sure that all our participants, our researchers, lecturers, university staff, academic people, higher education students that are following this webinar will really appreciate your knowledge, and they will understand better how to access the opportunities that we offer. EURAXESS ASEAN, I'm sure you will present that. It is a very interesting EU initiative that supports the researcher in the region by connecting them with EU researcher, promoting mobility to and from Europe, and supporting collaboration between the EU and the ASEAN. Today we look at the Horizon Europe Work Programme 26-27, which is actually a research and innovation program funded by the EU, 14 billion funding. I think what's important, and we don't say it enough, it's the most important public funded initiative in the world. We talk a lot about research in some other countries, big countries in this world, but I think it is important to remind everybody that we do pay a lot of attention to that and a lot of money to try to to make this a top priority also for the EU. So you are all in this room. That means you have heard about us before. So it's very good, but don't hesitate to pass the message that we are important partner in that. Today, the focus is, so it's cluster 6, as you know, food, agriculture, bioeconomy, natural resources, the environment. So for us, very, very strong support for climate, for environment, for sustainability. This is what we do wherever we work in this world, and in particular in this region, in the ASEAN region. We are supporting all those elements. This is the Green Deal. This is the green transition of the EU, and we push a lot on everything we do. It has to be green, it has to be sustainable, it has to be climate friendly, and we will continue to do that. On those aspects, actually, you know, biodiversity, sustainable food system, circular economy, zero pollution in general, those are very big priority for us. Therefore, you know, engaging in those areas are very, very important and relevant to us. Voilà, this webinar, of course, will guide all of you through the 26 call for proposal. It will explain how to use the EU funding and the tender portal, dedicated portal for that. And this is, of course, to encourage new partnership between academic and non-academic organizations so that we can turn research into real solution together. Okay? So very important, very practical, and I wish you a very good seminar for this afternoon, or webinar for this afternoon, but not without telling you first that this is part really of the Global Gateway Initiative of the EU. The Global Gateway Initiative is really the European investment plan for the entire world. We have launched this in 2022. With a massive budget of 300 billion euros to promote connection between countries and connection between people. So it's a lot about connectivity. We support a lot energy, transport, digital. Those are maybe the 3 most important areas in the region. But as important as those, we do support research, education and health as well. So we do not ignore that. Those are very big priority, and for all of you in the room, particularly important priority is research, of course. So that Global Gateway strategy is really helping us to support that. We have already actually overspent those 300 billion that we promised 3-4 years ago. So we are above that now, investing really a lot in infrastructure programs. And for the region, for the ASEAN, we have somehow 50 billion already in our portfolio. So it's quite a significant engagement. And we will continue to do that for the next 2 years because it goes with the financial framework of the EU till 2027. So we are committing that. And then, of course, the next framework starting 28 has not been negotiated yet, but the Global Gateway will remain the most important priority for us in our external relations. So you can, without having numbers today, you know already that this will remain priorities for us, and the 4-5 sectors I mentioned will be priorities for us for the foreseeable future. So 6, 7, 8 years from today, we will still be there. So you can bet on that. That will continue. Voilà, that was what I had to tell you today. Thank you very much for being in this room. Listen carefully to our colleagues and our speakers because they have interesting things to say and explaining how to access all that. And I wish you the best for your future and for this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jérôme Pons, for the warm welcome and also for putting this one single webinar in a really big context, a larger context and framework of the Global Gateway. I appreciate this very much. So, as you said, we are now moving, I would say, to one of the core parts of this session, the expert presentation, because Jérôme has already mentioned there is budget available, a lot of investment available, but the question is for what? So this is something which Pauline is enlightening us. She will focus on the funding priorities and the collaboration opportunities under Horizon Europe and this particular cluster. So I'm going to share your slides, Pauline. You just signal to me when I shall move forward.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Leonie, and thank you, Jérôme, for the introduction. I'm also going to place the my presentation in a broader context, so starting really with the background from where we got this new work program 26-27 from. Next slide, please. So it really stems from the strategic plan 25-27 that was adopted a couple of years ago, and around the three key strategic orientations of a green digital transition and a more resilient, competitive, inclusive, and democratic Europe. And on the right-hand side, you can see how the clusters, so the 6 clusters of Horizon Europe are organized around expected impacts. And so I'm going to show you the expected impacts of cluster 6. And what is important in this new work program is that there is a new commitment of, in the orientation given by the strategic plan of the second half of Horizon Europe, is that there is a new commitment of 10% of the budget being dedicated to biodiversity-related topics, which was not the case for the part that was from 21 to 24. And it complements the existing target for climate that was already 35%, and it's still the case. Next slide, please. So we have 6 expected impacts from the strategic plan, and they convey into destinations. So we have 7 destinations organizing cluster 6. So I will show you a bit more about how the topics are organized by destination. But basically, so we start with destination 1, biodiversity and ecosystem services. Then destination 2 is one of the biggest fair, healthy, and environmentally friendly food systems from primary production to consumption. Destination 3, circular economy and bioeconomy sectors is also a big one. And destination 4 on clean environment and zero pollution. Then we have destination 5 on land, oceans, and water for climate action. The destination 6 on resilient, inclusive, healthy, and green rural, coastal, and urban communities. And then destination 7 on innovative governance, environmental observations, and digital solutions in support of the Green Deal is more about governance and tools and more cross-cutting actions. But as you can see, these thematics of biodiversity, of circularity, food systems, agriculture, ocean and water, they are somehow thematically organized by destination, but they are also a bit cross-cutting. Like the question of climate, of biodiversity, of greening, it's really all over the cluster. Next slide, please. And so I said there is the starting point is the strategic plan, right? And then there were the new commission priorities when we changed the mandate in 2024. And so that's how we integrated the new political priorities into the work program. And among those, the most important one that is the most relevant to cluster 6 is the priority sustaining our quality of life, food security, water, and nature. But then also a new plan for Europe's sustainable prosperity and competitiveness. And to a lesser extent, we also have the cluster 6 also supports the priorities on supporting people, strengthening our societies and our social model, and protecting our democracy, upholding our values. But I am underlining this because it's really important to make the link between the calls for proposals and the broader context, the political priorities, and also the policy initiatives. So you will see that in the text, or you probably have seen if you had a look at it, that in the text of the calls for proposals, in the text of the narratives of the work program, there are a lot of references to policy initiatives. So here I've put also the most relevant ones, so the vision for agriculture and food, the water resilience strategy, the clean industrial deal, the strategy for European life sciences, the European Ocean Pact, and the EU bioeconomy strategy. They are not only not necessarily the most relevant ones, but they are also the most recent ones. And next slide, please. So yeah, that was a bit the background, and now this is a colorful slide to show you a bit like the overview of how the work program 26-27 of cluster 6 is organized. So as I said, the destinations, they are really organized according to the expected impacts. So they are not they are quite heterogeneous, especially in terms of size and budget. So as I said, the biggest one is the one on farm to fork, closely followed by the one on circular systems. And you can also see that in terms of types of actions, so there is more than half of the topics that are research and innovation actions, and then a bit more than a quarter then are that are innovation actions, and then the rest is coordinated and support actions. And also we have two co-funded partnerships, which are the Sustainable Blue Economy Partnership and the Partnership Agriculture of Data. So that's for the overview. And now, digging into what are the opportunities for entities that are located in ASEAN countries. So just a reminder that by default, Horizon Europe is as open as possible to almost all countries. So that means that almost any project consortium can include an entity from a third country partner. And that can be without commission funding, unless it is specified otherwise in the call text. And so that's really at the beginning of each call for proposals. You have all the indications, all the conditions. That's very important to be aware of. So countries association to Horizon Europe is the deepest form of integration. But so none of the ASEAN countries are associated to Horizon Europe for the moment. Maybe it will happen in the future. But in any case, it is not a prerequisite for participating to the program. So next slide, please. And in the case of cluster 6, we have more than a third of the topics which especially encourage international cooperation. So they say international cooperation is encouraged. Sometimes it precises with that region, or it's encouraged in particular with, for instance, the Caribbean or Latin America. But that doesn't mean that countries from other regions are not encouraged to participate. And in any case, even if it's not specified that international cooperation is encouraged, everybody is still encouraged to participate. I mean, it's not as encouraged as when it is specified, but any topic can include international partners unless it is specified otherwise, which is very rare. So that's a very important thing to say, that you should not limit yourselves to the topics that declare that they encourage international cooperation. So something about the funding is that participants from the low to middle income countries are automatically eligible for funding. And on that list, there are almost all of the Asian countries, except for Brunei Darussalam and Singapore. But otherwise, all the other countries are part of that list of low to middle income countries. And so you are automatically eligible for funding if you get on a consortium that is selected for a grant. Then you get automatical funding, as it means that for Brunei Darussalam in Singapore, it is not automatic, but still it may happen depending on the proposal. And the next slide. And so now, very concretely, we have at the moment, I mean, in 3 days, the call 01 of the work program 26 that is going to open, and it will be open until September. So I think it is very to the point to have this webinar today, because then you can start preparing the application in the portal. The other calls, they are almost all closed or closing. So that's why I put them in like red or orange, is because unless you have already finished the preparation of the application, I don't think any of them are relevant to you. And then, of course, there are all the 2027 calls that will open next year. And you can see the dates on the screen. And also, I want to add that there is an amendment to the work program 26-27 that is in preparation, and that will be published probably in October, and that this will include additional calls. So it's not part of Cluster 6, but I'm saying that because a big part of this amendment is on biodiversity. So it has, of course, links with Cluster 6 and with probably your fields of interest. And so that's why I'm going to focus on this like first call, that is a call that covers the destinations 1, biodiversity, 3, circular systems, and 4, zero pollution. So I'm just going to take a few examples. I just want to say, underline again that this is not exhaustive, but I'm just taking these examples because these are calls that are at the moment where you can still apply, and that encourage international cooperation. So the first call of the whole work program, BioDiv 01, on understanding and tackling the decline of insects. So it encourages international cooperation. It's a research and innovation action that is going to fund 2 projects, and it's so the objective is that researchers have better understanding of status and population trends of insect and drivers of decline, and it's to inform biodiversity competent authorities and stakeholders. So it's really about better understanding and better sharing of information on this trend of the decline of insects. Then the next one, BioDiv 03, pushing the frontier of knowledge and conservation action for deep sea ecosystems. It's again a research and innovation action that should fund 2 grants and encourages international cooperation. So it's on deep sea, and it's about prioritizing deep sea for inclusion in the 30% protection target. So it's part of the Cunning Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework and BBNG targets. I forgot the acronym, what that means. And so it's about the planning of maritime. It's about maritime spatial planning based on science. So I just want to say before there are any Q&As that I'm not an expert on each of the thematic fields, but if you have any questions, I will be happy to take them and convey them to the experts who have written the topics. Next slide, please. Here we have another topic, another call for proposal under destination biodiversity on ensuring continuous effectiveness of protected areas in conserving habitats and species while facing intensifying drivers of biodiversity loss. And here the call for proposal says international cooperation is encouraged, especially when protected areas expand over different countries and for exchange of experiences. So that it's something that you can keep in mind when looking at the scope of the call. And again, when the topic states that international cooperation is encouraged, especially when it's better, but it doesn't have to be. So it's good to underline this if you have this in your consortium, but it doesn't have to be. And then moving to a topic under destination 3, circular systems, advancing the European bio-based innovation enabled by biotechnology and biomanufacturing concepts. So this one is about biotechnology, lab sciences, and environmental sustainability. bio-based, bio-inspired processes. And it also encourages international cooperation, and it's again a research and innovation action that is starting from that is expected to reach technology readiness level of 4 to 5, which is not always indicated in the call for proposals, but in this case it is. And the last one I wanted to show you today, it's the destination for zero pollution, and it's for the bioremediation of Ukraine's ecosystems contaminated by conflict. And on that one, we have also international cooperation encouraged. We have a restriction on Chinese controlled entities. So here and there in the work program, there are that kind of restrictions. Basically, except for some Chinese entities and Russian and Belarus entities, usually there are no restrictions on the countries across the work program. And so here it's yeah, and then now I'm going to show you the so that's the most important slide, I think, because you can access the work program, you can access the funding and tenders portal where you will have the description of all the calls for proposals, and you can start your application. There is the contact to the national contact points of Cluster 6. So it's me and my colleagues who can answer your questions, your requests. And there is also a research inquiry service that is managed by the agency that covers the evaluation and implementation of grants, the Research Executive Agency, REA. So all of these links and emails are very important. And then you can see here the link to the recordings of the info days on Cluster 6 calls. These info days took place in January in Brussels, and they were recorded. And there are sessions by destination, and there is also a session that is called Key to Success. And this session, it lasts like 2 hours and a half. You have a lot of a coverage of all dimensions of the application, and it's very useful for you to follow, to prepare this your application, and also to understand how to make a successful application, all the steps to follow, and all the modalities around international cooperation, international partners. And you also have in each of the destination sessions, you can jump directly to the topic that you're interested in. There are Q&As, so you can, I advise you to listen to the Q&As, and I also invite you, when you apply to the calls for proposals, to go to the bottom of the page on the funding and tenders portal when there are Q&As that are already published, because usually it can already answer some questions. And if you still have questions, then you can submit these questions to either the Research Inquiry Service or the National Contact Points email address. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pauline. Very clear and insightful. I particularly liked your slides where you shared the course and the destinations, because when you look at the work program, it's a black and white document, and here it was very colorful and very clearly split. So I think it makes it much easier, especially for those who are for the first time looking through this work program. It makes it much easier to understand and to follow the context to the end. So that was really nice. Thank you so much. Just one point, if you have questions, don't wait. Better ask the questions now, then you don't have to send an email. So we will, however, put everything what Pauline said now in perspective, because we have somebody who went through this whole process with us, Dr. Khoa Dangle. He is the General Research Manager at an organization called VASI, which is the Western Highland Agriculture and Forestry Science Institute in Vietnam. And he has, very successful. I think he's now in a at least second project for Horizon Europe, collaborating with institutions from all over the world, including, I think, Africa and even South America, if I'm not wrong. Is that correct? Yes, I remember that very well from your last presentation when we met in Vietnam. And I'm really grateful and happy that you're with us today, Kwa, and share with a larger audience now your experience and encourage them, yeah, to look deeper into this work program and possibly even look for a consortium to apply. So the floor is yours, and I think you have also prepared some slides for us. You're just on mute, so I have to, yeah.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Ms. Pauline, to give really details of funding priorities and also opportunity collaboration for all the partner and for who are joining today to understand more about the cluster number 6 of European Commission funding. So thank you very much. And I think I'm here today to give an endorsement of what I have joined with a lot of partners on Earth to perform some activity in Vietnam under the cluster number 6 funded by European Commission. So allow me to share some slide that I prepared. Yeah, can you see my slide?
We can see well. If you could just go into the presenter mode.
Thank you. Yes, so I'm Kwale, a General Research Manager of WASI.
Apologies.
Yeah.
Can you go into the presenter mode for the slides? Apologies for interrupting.
Oh, okay.
The slideshow.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so right now I have been doing at the National Manager Coordination for the project called Bolero, which is breeding for cocoa, coffee, root resilient in low input farming system based on improve the root stock of those two crop, coffee and cocoa. And yes, this project is belong to cluster number 6, which is very well said by Ms. Pauline before. So in terms of food, bioeconomy, natural resource, agriculture, and environment. So the project gonna be ending by September this year, but we have started this project since 2022, 4 years ago already. And my WASI has been playing like to represent Vietnam among 12 countries on Earth, which are France, Italy, German, etc. Italy and some Uganda as well in South Africa. The main objective of Bolero project is to optimize the root system architecture to allowing the food tree like cocoa and coffee resilient to the climate change. So project, there are several ambitions. Then my WASI, I mean Vietnam, has doing 2 out of 5 ambition of Bolero projects. And my WASI performed the key ambition about develop new root phenotyping tool and also performing the comprehensive assessment of grafted farming system for both cocoa and coffee in Central Highlands of Vietnam. From my point of view, I would love to share that we have a huge chance to do the collaboration with like nations around the world to perform any project under the cluster number 6 regarding agriculture, environment, and also this year, I think, if I remember correctly, Ms. Pauline mentioned about the circle, the economy circular of the crop. Like we are working on cocoa and coffee. We try to apply for the economy circular of this kind of two tree. Based on the project Bolero I have been doing now, I would love to say that we have a lot of information online, which is have well said by Ms. Pauline, that we can easily find online. And from that point, we should searching for the partner, especially European partners, in any country of European area, like France, Italy, German, Australia, to join any planning, define the role of your company, your organization, or your country before starting thinking about the topic and also what we can contribute to our project under the clusters number 6. And of course, when you find a partner, try to do the regular meeting with them to develop more the topic, the objective, and identify the general topic and also the specific topic as well. I mean, knowledge exchange or align with the international partner, European partner, for example, is very good for improving your research skill, management skill as well. And via the real research activity in the field, in your country, your own country. But of course, by joining the multiple countries project, I would love to say that there are some challenge we need to aware that we may face during the time we perform the project activity. The first challenge, I would say that the language barrier. I mean, when we exchange the knowledge or attended the meeting, the language is very important. If we figured out the key language to communicate, then we have to learn about the language or find the people who very well in that kind of language. Like us, we mainly work with French partner. So our team also have to find the person who speaks French very well in order to have a better communication with the technical experts from European country or other country which are involved in the project. Yeah, so we should set up also the collaboration platform as well when we have worked together. So collaboration platform for project where we can share all the information, updated information from each country. Then we able to have a good meeting later. Yes, so aware for the communication style as well. When we do the multiple culture project on Earth, so communication style also need to be aware. Just in terms of impact and lesson learned from the project I have been doing with European nation. For my Bolero project, I would say that now more than 800 farmers in Vietnam who benefit from project. Under the project, they learn a lot how to apply the smart climate agricultural performance into our practices in their farm. And also the farmer also have to collect almost like hundreds which one? Sorry, brother. I would say the number that we have. Yes, we do have we do have more than 1,300, almost 1,400 farmers get involved project. Among the almost 900 farmers directly beneficial from the project. And we also do the biodiversity of more than 800 DNA samples, soil sample collected from coffee and cocoa farms in Central Highlands of Vietnam. The quality of Vietnamese coffee been tested in European country by the private partner like Nestle, Lavazza, Ely in Italy. So they received the coffee sample from my project and to do cup tests of those samples and qualify the quality of Vietnamese coffee then. So far, until now, we also do 6 training courses for nursery manager as well to apply the new methodology in mini cutting to produce the good quality seedling grafted trees to be able to provide spreading good quality of variety of coffee and cocoa to the farmer in Central Highlands of Vietnam. Yes, so the big lesson we learned from the project Bolero is also about improvement of technical competence for my own research team, who really how I say, they really kind of could not speak anything, exchange knowledge with international experts, but through Bolero, we have a good chance to directly interaction in person with the technical leader, technical experts from European country. Then they my staff, my technical staff, able to speak out, and also we have good communication with technical experts around the world in terms of coffee and cocoa performance. So that, though I think that lesson we learned from Bolero, I really would love to share with you, and also the challenge that we may face up with. So I hope that for those who join this project, then we'll take time to explore the cluster number 6 in terms of agriculture, environment, and etc. To apply for the round of 2026 and 2027 later on. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Koa, for sharing your experiences under Horizon Europe. When I heard about this project for the first time and I met you in Vietnam, I was already impressed, but I'm very happy that you join us again and show to this larger audience really the international dimension of this project, the scope, the different stakeholders you involved. There are a few questions here which we'll ask you at the end as well. For example, how did you get in contact with the farmers? Because that's across all the different countries to get these samples. Thank you so much to all the participants. We see that your questions are coming in both in the chat as well as in the Q&A section. But I would like to suggest before we move to the Q&A, I'll hand over to my colleague Tatas, because some questions are linked to the EU funding and tender portal and to partnerships. So with his presentation, he will, might not all, but he will clarify a few of your questions and share with you really almost live where you find these calls Pauline was referring to. Later, Pauline, there are a few questions for you as well. I keep track on that in the chat. Tatas, I hand over to you.
Thank you, Leonie. So now we will have a look on the EU funding and tender portal. So this is the portal that you might be interested to find the calls, but also to submit your calls. And also there are many functions inside this EU funding and tender portal. So let me guide you to have a look on this portal. So please visit this portal, and then here you will find calls for proposal, and this is the links that you need to click on it, and then you will have this windows in front of you, and in the quick search you can type in the calls that Pauline already mentioned. For example, I choose the example number 1, the call Horizon CL6 2026-01 BioDiff 01. We can type on it, and then they are maybe appear like 2. I'll select the first one, yeah, and then here we got the information related to the understanding and tackling the decline of insects, yeah, and here the opening dates, and then the deadlines, also single stage, yeah, and this is still forthcoming. As Pauline mentioned, it will be open, yeah, in about a couple of days, yeah, and then you click and you can prepare yourself. On the left hand side, you have internal navigation. In the internal navigation, you have general information, topic description, and many informations. Let's have a look at the topic description. This is the topic description that Pauline mentioned, related to expected outcomes, scope, and if you are preparing to this proposal, what is expected in a successful proposal. It is all related. This description should be appear in this description, yeah. And then, for example, here this is like budget overview related to the budget per project and how many project will be funded, yeah. And then here we have a very exciting because it partner search announcement. If we click here, partner search announcement, it looks like there are already 54 already appears. Let's have a look on this one. If we view, this is like the partners is looking for collaborations, yeah, especially in this topic. So this is might be address some of your question related. If I would like to find partners, yeah, you can have a look on this using this EU funding and tender portals. Now going back again, and this is the home page of the EU funding and tender portal. So very important, on the right hand side at the top, yeah, this is sign in. Make sure that you have to sign in and you have your account, yeah, because your account you will able to browse explore many insight of opportunities, yeah. Here have a look. You can create an account and have your EU login account. Going back again in the home page, here you can have a look on the participant register, because if you would like to participate in this call, it is participating as an institution. So you have to check whether your institutions already registered in this portal. Yeah, have a look at the participant registers here, and then find registered organizations. Yeah, and then you can have a look whether your organizations have this PIC number. PIC number is a participant or identification code. It is a 9-digit code. It is the code that you need to put on your applications submissions. Yeah, and please consult to your institutions related to this. If you are not yet registered, you can also register yourself. Here you can also find the registration code of the partner organization. For example, here I choose, for example, Chulalongkorn. Chulalongkorn University here appeared. It's validated. Yeah, and then we can have a look at the track record of the Chulalongkorn University here, PIC number of the Chulalongkorn University. So yeah, this is the introductions about the EU funding and tender portal. I hope this useful for you. Thank you, Leonie. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Tatas. Very hands-on segment. And just to let our participants know, we will share this presentation. We will share Dr. Koa's presentation, also Pauline's presentation with you afterwards. All of you, when you registered with your email, you will receive a follow-up email with also further resources. So we have different categories of questions now with us. Some are very country specific, some are linked to Dr. Koa's project, and some are linked rather to the calls in general. Allow me to start first with a country specific question, because we have a few researchers from Singapore here on board, and they might have been a little bit disappointed by one slide from Pauline, which said that Brunei and Singaporean participants cannot join. This is partially only the case. So first of all, we need to differentiate between individual participants and institutions. We are talking here about partner consortia. We are talking about institutions. So in general, for institutions, it used to be correct that institutions can participate, but they couldn't receive any funding. This has changed recently, as Singapore has set up a Singapore Horizon Europe Complementary Fund. And Cluster 6 is covered under this fund, meaning that Singapore has set up a fund for institutions here in Singapore, which is complementing the budget which Horizon Europe is providing to this partnership consortia. So when you are successful with your partnership consortia, the project has been approved, then Singapore will provide the complementary funding for your institution. There has been a presentation by the National Research Foundation a few weeks ago. And I'm going to put in the chat also the contact person from Singapore, national contact person from Singapore, who can provide further information on this. So that is for Singapore now the case. So let's start first with Pauline, I would suggest, because this is more general. Not everybody is focusing on the same topic as Dr. Kwa. So Pauline, first question to you. Maybe I compile a few. So first question is, how many countries and institutions should participate in a project? Number one. And number two, somebody would like to understand what does it mean stage 1 and stage 2 proposal. Sorry, I just need to scroll down again because the question was in the chat. But maybe you can answer already the question about the number of countries and institutions.
Yes, thanks a lot, Leonie, also for clarifying this thing with Singapore. Indeed, it was not very clear, but with your explanation, now I hope that all the potential applicants from Singapore are reassured. So about the calls, so calls 1, 2. So sorry, I realized it was not very clear, but it doesn't matter. It's just that the calls are the topics from each destination are regrouped under calls. So instead of having one call per destination, we have call 1 has destinations biodiversity, circular, zero pollution. Call 2 has the destinations 2, 4, and 2, 5, and 6. So communities, climate, and farm to fork. And then, so we have one call per year for these 3 batches of topics. So again, sorry, call 1 is destination 1, 3, 4. Call 2 is destination 2, 5, 6, and call 3 is destination 7. And then sometimes some of these topics have to be split into 2-stage calls, because they receive a high number of applications. And so we do a first round where the application process is less heavy, because a high number of proposals will be dismissed because it's very attractive. It's a broad scope topic. So you make an application that is less complicated to prepare, and then if you're taken to the second stage, then you can the process continues, and you complete the application, and then maybe you get you get to the grant agreement. And so there are a few topics that are 2-stage, and there is another nuance between those 2-stage topics, is that some of them have a blind evaluation on the first stage. But that's very clearly explained in the call for proposals. But some of them, you cannot display anything that can identify who is in the consortium, because it's blind, it's anonymous. That's made in order to not favor institutions, enterprises that are already very, I don't know, successful or something like that. So that's just something. So you have the two-stage calls, and then you have the one-stage calls, and the numbering is just a matter of organizing the destinations with one another. So that's on the calls. And I mean, and sorry, just to complement that, the reason why they don't have the same opening and closing dates is just because again, it's for the evaluators to organize the work of because if we all receive all proposals at the same time, then of course it's too much for the agencies to evaluate the proposals. And then the other question was on the
how many
sorry,
countries and institutions can participate, and can you apply for several calls?
Of course, you can apply for several calls, and the consortium, they can be very. It can vary. I don't think there is a limit. I think that usually they are between I don't know, maybe between 5, 6 and 15, 16 partners in a consortium. It can be very. It varies a lot depending on the size of the proposal of the so yeah, whether it's a coordinated and support action or whether it's a innovation action. Also, it can be very very different. But there is no. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think there is any requirement minimum or maximum.
Yeah. There is no limit, but it is for the project coordinator obviously a bit tough to have a consortium with 30 participants. So the magic number is usually, as you said it, between 5 to 10. I think Dr. Kaur, in his case, it was also roughly about the same. We have a few people who are asking about specific topics which have not been listed in this call and other calls. How can they find out if some of the topics they're working in, and one was completely different, is molecular biology and medicine, so that is a different work program, but there are a number of topics our researchers here are focusing on, but they couldn't see this in the calls which you have highlighted. How can they search now if Horizon Europe is funding these areas?
Yeah, then I think it was very clear in the presentation from Tadas. If you go on the funding and tenders portal, you can use also the search bar, not the one on the left hand side with the exact name of the topic, the exact identifier. You can use keywords, and then you will find all the topics that have this keyword in the title or in the description. So you can really browse. You can also instead of going into if you know that it's a specific cluster, so for health, for instance, is a cluster 2, so you can go into the work program of cluster 2 and you can do search into the document. You can use the filters on the funding and tenders portal. So yeah, it's really very I think the funding and tenders portal is quite easy to navigate, and so yes, you should I really welcome all of you to if you have a specific field of interest of competence to look into what could be the cause for proposals. It doesn't have to be necessarily in cluster 6. Maybe it's in other. Also, there are horizontal calls. There are like and I know we have contributed to a call with cluster 6. We have contributed to a call that was in the clean industrial deal horizontal call. So sometimes I encourage you not to look only into cluster 6, but really into the whole of Horizon in Europe, and for that you can browse the funding and tenders portal.
Thank you. Give us 5 more minutes, please. This is to all the participants to take the questions for Dr. Kaur. Dr. Kaur, there are 3 questions. The most important one first. Some participants are asking for your email address and your LinkedIn profile. So if you could kindly put this into the chat, I think then many things, you will have a lot of follow-up questions afterwards, but if this is something which you agree. 3 questions. Number 1, can you share how you got the farmers joining your project? Number 1. Number 2, did you provide them any subsidy for your project money so they can contribute? And number 3 is, can you share your experience together with your counterparts from Africa? Because there were some institutions involved. These are the key questions. And I'm looking if there's anything else, but I think these were the ones.
Yeah. So for first one, I think to get the involvement from the farmers not easy anyway. But we have like I mean, my Wazi have a long history set up in Central Highlands, and we are the only one coffee institute in Vietnam. So all of the project for coffee and cacao has been done by Wazi, and then the farmer very well recognized my organization, and they really appreciate what my Wazi contribute to the development of coffee and cocoa sector in Vietnam. And whenever we have a new project, we ask for their help. They're willing to support us, but of course we need to get the consent letters from them as well. For example, if we talk to them, my research team travel to the farm location and discuss with them about the project and let them know what the benefits they saw receive later, or what is the benefit for their community, for example. Then explain more for them to understand about the mission of project. And if the mission is much well with what the farmer expect, then easy to get the signature for consent letter from the farmer. That's the key thing. For the second one, I think it's about the African partner. I actually that not the collaboration or with directly with Maiwasi, but the Institute of Coffee in Uganda is also partner of Siras from France. So we have a chance to exchange the raw material among Siras, Wazi, and Vietnam through the connector of Sirat, not directly collaborate with Wazi. But of course, my Wazi also have the long list of really good quality of Robusta. Then there are several partners from Africa communicate with us to give a talk how to exchange the material or even raw material, coffee or cocoa among countries. So we also well recognized by among the coffee and cocoa producing nations on earth. So that is also the good opportunity for my Wazi to become a partner with any organization or institution on earth really want to collaborate with us in terms of coffee development and also cocoa development. So I think that that may get the good answer for question.
Thank you. One last question before I close. It has to do also with the closing of a project. Can you share a little bit about the reporting process when receiving funding from the EU?
Oh yeah. For technical report, it's not really a problem, but also we need to care about the financial report as well. As we get direct funding from the European Commission, then we also have to apply to align the financial system of Vietnam and also with the EU code norm as well. So that is some challenge for financial team. But for technical team, as I mentioned before, we set up the project platform online. Then all of the technical partner are able to share information, update information on the platform. Then we learn from each other online system. So which is very helpful if we can set up online platform of for all partner to join in. It's very good, very beneficial tools.
Thank you. And Tatas also shared earlier, when you're looking for partner organizations, you can see also how many projects a partner organization has already done, especially, I mean, a European coordinator. And of course, the more projects, the more experienced. So be also sure that you have a coordinator in your project who has all this expertise and who then can share this with all the participants. I see that Pauline is very actively answering the last questions. Thank you so much, Pauline, for helping with this. Tatas is also answering questions. We have come to the end of the webinar. I would like to thank all of you for participating, and I would special thanks to our speakers, Jérôme Pons, Dr. Cordangle, and Pauline Sentis, or Sentis, I think that's the right way to pronounce it. Of course, also thanks to my colleague Tatas, who wonderfully has explained again how to find the right calls. We will follow up with an email to all of you, put all the PPTs on our website in a less than hopefully 2 days after we have uploaded the recording on YouTube. So you will get post from us soon with more information, additional resources, and we keep fingers crossed that you will find one of these calls attractive, relevant to your research, and hope that you can contribute in the future to this ASEAN, Europe, and beyond research collaboration. Thank you again. Have a lovely day, lovely evening here in Southeast Asia, and a good day to Europe.
Have a good
Bye.
day.
Bye, guys. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.